Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, I'm going to be letting you know the Springboks squad that was just announced for the November Internationals. But if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But nonetheless, let's get straight into the squad. Right, so the Springboks squad has just recently been announced for their fixtures up against Wales, also Scotland, and then the third game is going to be the rematch of the World Cup final up against England. But they have gone with a very similar squad to what they had for the Rugby Championship, with just two uncapped players being added into the squad, but we will go through them right now. A big injury for the Springboks is the fact that Faf de Klerk, he is going to be out with a hip injury for the next kind of 5 months or so, so he is going to be missing from this one, which is why there is a replacement halfback who has been added into the team. But we will start with the props, and they are going to be as follows. So for the props, there is Thomas du Toit, Stephen Kitshoff, Vincent Koch, Oxner Shat, and also Trevor Nakanye, so not too many changes. All players who did take part in the Rugby Championship for the Springboks. Then looking through at the hookers now, it's going to be same as it was for the Rugby Championship also. Joseph Dweba, Malcolm Marx, and then Bongi Umbonambi will be the third option. And Malcolm Marx up against some of those Northern Hemisphere sides, Phil could be a very dangerous threat. We did see him score 3 tries for the Rugby Championship and always having an impact when he comes off the bench. He was one of the biggest impact players for any side, and also has a very precise line-out throw, which may be very useful up against the likes of a Wales or in England, where a rolling ball may be a little bit necessary to be able to get that go forward. But then looking through at the locks now, it is going to be Lou Diago, who had a very good Rugby Championship. The most line-outs won by that man, and also very good in the breakdown throughout the Rugby Championship. Eben Etzebeth, always physical, going to be an exciting one to watch. Salman Morat, he is actually being added into the side here, so he is uncapped. He plays for the Stormers in the URC at the moment, but he is going to be added into the side. There's another player for the Stormers though that a lot of people thought was a given to be in that squad, and that is Efan Ruiz. We thought that we would see him in this squad, possibly getting an opportunity in the later stages of the year, but it does mean that he is going to be missing out. But he is still young as well, so maybe he will get a chance in next year. Or possibly at that World Cup. And now the last lock that they have gone with is Marvin Ory, who got a couple caps for that Rugby Championship, only sitting on the 7 so far with no tries yet, so maybe he will be able to pick one up in the Northern Hemisphere. But now looking through the loose forwards, they have gone with Sia Khaleesi, once again the captain of the Springboks. He is going to be trying to lead from the front and get them 3 wins here in the Northern Hemisphere. Quagga Smith, very good player. Marco van Staden, he did actually end up with a bit of an injury in one of the games of the Rugby Championship, but luckily he seems to be back ready to go, and he is a dangerous ball runner. Also had a huge impact off the bench when he did get the opportunity. Dwayne Vermeulen, also a very good ball runner. And then Jasper Wiese plays for the Leicester Tigers. I believe he actually had a game very recently in the Gallagher Premiership, so he's going to be joining back up with the Springbok squad for that first match that is taking place on November 7th up against Wales as well. It's at 5:30 AM New Zealand time, but I am certainly going to be up for that game and also be doing my live stream that we normally do for the live commentary. But then also another player who is in the forward pack. He can play lock, can play loose forward. It is Franco Mostert, and he is a very good player, and it is very good to see that he is in the squad once again for the Springboks. We're now moving on to the back scrum halves for this one. Like I mentioned, no de Klerk due to injury. Instead, it is going to be Herschel Yankees once again. Then Kobus Reinach will get the opportunity, and then Grant Williams plays for the Sharks throughout the Currie Cup and also in the URC, and he is going to get the opportunity to earn his first cap. He is a very good player around the side of the breakdown, and I feel like that is one of the things that he will be able to bring to the side, is trying to get that go forward round the side of the rucks as well. But for the fly halves, they have gone with Elton Yankees and Andre Pollard. Now, there was the big news very recently that Morné Steyn, he is retired from international rugby, which is a big shame, because that means in 12 years time we are not going to get to see him up against the British and Irish Lions to nail another kick for the 3rd tour in a row. Unfortunately, it does mean that he will be missing out, but he's had a very good international career. And now it does open up the doors for maybe heading into that World Cup, one of these younger talented players to make their way through. Although Johan Husson at the moment, I believe he is still injured, which is why he's not going to be available, which is a big shame, because a lot of people wanted to see him get a chance as well. Midfielders, they have got themselves Lucanio Arm, who was very good in the final game up against the All Blacks for the Rugby Championship. Also had a very solid few games before that as well. Damien Dialende is going to be there, and then Jesse Creel is the other option, who didn't really get too many opportunities for the Rugby Championship, so perhaps they go with another combo in the midfield for these games up against Wales, Scotland, and also England. Outside backs, they have gone with Apalele Fassi, who hopefully will get a few test caps, as he is a very talented player. Willie LaRue, they have once again gone with him. Mikazoli Mapimpi scoring a try in that last match up against the All Blacks, and is just very phenomenal at being able to beat defenders when he does get given a little bit of space. Seppo Nkosi did impress throughout the Rugby Championship, but a big name that is not there, Cheslin Colby, he is not going to be seen in the squad. I believe at the moment he is at Toulon. He has recently signed for them in the top 14, but I'm not sure whether or not that injury is still playing a factor, because of the fact that during the Rugby Championship, I believe it was the second last round or so in training, he did actually refire up that injury. So hopefully that is not the case, but If it is, that means that Chislin Colby is a big hit for their side once again, but hopefully he does get a chance in the future. Damien Willems are going to be also an option in the back line, and then also to close out their squad, it is going to be Franz Steyn. So that is the Springbok squad. Like I mentioned, the games that they are going to be playing up against Wales at 5:30 AM New Zealand time. Then there is a game up against Scotland the week after, and then after that, the big one, it is going to be England taking on the Springboks, and yeah, it's going to be a very exciting tour indeed. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.